नमयों विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभतीर्थगोस्वामिनामिने कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं कलुषायुतशक्तसुदीननरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। So, it almost looks like a millennium since we stopped, the English Harikatha. We were going through the life of Jada Bharat, and in between we had Kartik month, so many devotees left for Vrindavan, and I was also busy with the Niyam Seva activities, so we couldn't continue the narration in the month of Kartik. And now after that, many devotees have been eagerly waiting when will the Bhagavatam class begin, as do I. I'm also eagerly waiting. So ultimately it happened because I heard from Gurudev, I haven't realized this yet, but I heard from Gurudev, everything happens by the will of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. We may desire, we may want to do few things, but unless until there is a sanction from the Supreme Lord, it doesn't happen. So we can desire, and we have to keep that desire very strong so that Krishna, Gurudev, Vaishnavas bestow us with that possibility. So it has to happen from today. That's why it is happening by the will of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So Jada Bharat is in his third birth. The first birth, he is a king, and he renounced his family, his kingdom, and came to the forest to perform Hari Bhajan. But in the forest he saw a baby deer who became motherless and who fell into water, struggling for life. King Bharat was, immediately overcome with mercy upon this baby deer. He rescued and he started to take care of the deer. So much so that he got attached to it. So this is the danger in this material world, that we think that this is my responsibility, this is my duty, but in this process we get attached to the material things, material objects and material relations. The life of Jada Bharat, life of King Bharat is an example for this. So he got attached to a deer, he gave up his family members. We have come to Math, we have come to Mayapur to perform Hari Bhajan, staying away from the family, staying away from the society, material society, and staying in the company of the sadhus and perform Hari Bhajan. But what King Bharat has shown to us, padam padam yat vipadam, at every step there is danger. Don't think that we have come to Mayapur or Vrindavan, Maya is not following us. Maya knows our address before we even go there. Her tickets are booked before our tickets are booked. So she is everywhere. So therefore Bharat, he came to the forest, but Maya is there everywhere. She is present everywhere. So Maya Devi, in the form of attachment to the deer, or mercy you can say here, in the form of mercy Maya has attacked, and he became very, very compassionate to the deer, and ultimately he got attached. When at the time of death he was thinking about the deer, and he became a deer in the next birth. But because he performed bhajan, he had remembrance of why he had fallen down to a body of a deer from a human. He had this knowledge. Therefore he did not associate with other deers. He just stayed in the company of the sadhus all the time, spending for hearing and speaking the glories of the Lord. And he also got an opportunity to taste the remnants of the sadhus. He was very nice to see you after a long time. So he also got an opportunity to eat the prasad of the sadhus, the remnants of the sadhus. In this manner, he spent that life, and after he died in that, he took birth in a Brahminical family, also named by the rishis and munis as Bharat. But this time he is Jada Bharat. Jada means just like a dull matter, inert substance. Jada means inert or dull matter. So he was like an inert substance. Inert substance means no feelings, no offenses taken, no reactions, material reactions, anger, greed, lust, vengeance, no, none of these things. He was totally free from all this, just like a lump of matter does not have any such emotions, material emotions. He had no material emotions, just like a dull matter. Even though his father tried to teach him about the Vedas and other things, he was not ready to, learn them. He tried his best, father, out of attachment, because he is more dependent. He tried, but still he didn't learn any one of them. And after the father departed, the brothers of Bharat, they saw that this is useless to spend our time to educate him or do anything. It is better just that we exploit him, because people in general are anyway exploiting him. They are making him work like an ass and giving little food, and he doesn't ask for anything. He has no demands. I am working so much, you give me so much, there is no demand. So they were exploiting. The brothers thought it's a very nice idea. We have a labor free of cost in our house. Why do we have to send him out? So they used to engage him in all the household activities, and end of the day, he was only given the food with worms and insects, that which is stale, that which is of, that is stinking. He would not say any word, or he does not demand anything. So it is like, that which is useless is being given to him, and he is being exploited. In this manner, a lot of time was spent. One day he was asked to sit in the fields to take care of, the animals don't come and graze the, fields. At that time, King Rahugana was passing through on that path. There were 4 palanquin carriers and some other ministers. Suddenly one of the palanquin carriers was hurt and he was no more able to walk. And the principal palanquin carrier is in search of, any Narapashu. He is addressed as Narapashu. Narapashu means animal like human. Animal like human. They were in search of such a person, and they saw Jada Bharat. He is like, animal, like animal means no intelligence. He has no intelligence. Oh, okay, I will carry the palanquin, how much will you give me? Or he cannot say yes or no, nothing. So in this manner, he was employed in carrying the palanquin, but Jada Bharat had no knowledge of how to carry the palanquin. But on the contrary, he was seeing that on the path, if there are some insects or some ants crawling, may they not be hurt by his walk. Thinking like this, he would, put his step forward by watching very carefully. For that, he had to stop and start. Stop and start. The next 3 steps or 4 steps, are there any insects? He would watch, and then he would put his step forward. The other 3 carriers, their balance was getting disturbed. So the king inside the palanquin, he was not being carried in a proper manner. The king was enraged and he told, "Oh, what is this? You are not able to carry properly? Are you not seeing that I am sitting inside?" Then the other 3, fearing punishment from the king, they told that this newly employed person, he is not able to carry it properly, because of which there is no synchrony in all the 4 of us. We are not careless, my dear Lord, about your service. We are doing it completely mindful of you and your service duties. But this fellow who has joined just now, he is not doing a proper job. Then the king directly addressed him, abused him, he criticized him, he chastised him, he used a very, very demenial words towards him. But he did not respond to any one of them. Nor did he change his style of walking or change what he was doing previously. He was doing the same thing, repeating the same thing. That enraged the king further, and he told, "Oh, you fool, you don't fear the king and the king's punishment. You shall be severely punished for what you are doing." But still, he could not. Is there some disturbance?
No, okay.
People send messages, no problem. So, even though king, wanted to make Jada Bharat fearful of the punishment, Jada Bharat's style did not change. He was still continuing the same style, same way. Then the king told, "Stop." And he came out of, and yes, the Jada Bharat started speaking that, "My dear king, you are falsely identifying yourself as the master, and you are thinking that we are subjects of punishment. but it is just the time. By influence of time, tomorrow one of us can be king and you can be a slave. Why are you falsely identifying yourself as a king and thinking that this is your duty? Our actual duty is that we belong to Supreme Lord. Then the king told, stop. He came down the palanquin. He offered prostrations to Jadabharat and he told, are you the Kapil Muni that in whose search I am going to? You look like a fallen Brahmana. Are you an Avaduta who has come to rescue me? Who are you? You seem to be very educated, but why do you present yourself as a, such a, ugly or a dirty manner, an unpolished way? Why do you present yourself in this way? Is it because you want to stay away from the public? I'm not able to understand you. Is it that you are going to another way and on the path you are, you are taking rest and I got an opportunity to see you? Please disclose your identity to me. Then Jadabharat started speaking about the Atma Tattva. Whatever the king has spoken, he took those words of criticism on how it only shows the foolishness of the king. He was using the words of criticism. But Jadabharat had shown how that is just the foolishness of the king because of the false identification, because of not having knowledge that he is Atma, thinking that he is body, his words are on a foolish platform. He spoke all these things, then Jadabharat told, please come. You understand English?
Yes.
Very well? Okay. My English is okay, no problem. So maybe you can just come little side so that Mataji will also be able to see me. No. It's okay. From there only.
Here.
Yeah, okay. No problem. You can sit there. Small room. So, in this manner, Jadabharat was speaking words of wisdom, and Rahugana told that please explain in more detail. I want to understand what you are telling. You have given the example. You told me that I am a king, and this is temporary. Therefore, we should not be identifying ourselves as the king or whatever and try to do those activities. But my question is, as long as we are a king or I am a king, I have to execute my duties, isn't it? He gave an example, just like rice in a pot. The pot is exposed to the fire. The fire heats up the pot, and the pot heats up the water inside it. And the water inside it is heating up the rice, and the outer layer of the rice is transferring heat to the inner core of the rice, and that is how it is getting boiled. So even though the inner core of the rice is not in direct contact with the fire, it is getting affected ultimately. In a similar manner, even though we are not the body, we are Atma, whatever is happening externally, materially, our self is also getting affected, even though that self is not in direct contact with the external environment. Very, very logical question. But Jadabharat told, this only indicates that how foolish you are. This only indicates you are very, very foolish, because material example is not applicable to the spirit soul. How can you compare matter with spirit? Spirit completely belongs to a different platform. Therefore, my dear king, even though you think that you are speaking very wise, it is only showing that you have no sadhu sangha. You have not associated with sadhus, or you have not understood the self in reality. Then I submit to you, please tell me. Then in the previous chapter we heard how Jadabharat is explaining the entire material existence to be like a forest. What kind of forest is it? It is a forest that is troubled with so many ferocious animals, so many plunderers, thieves, beasts, trees, serpents, caves, mountains, all these things are there. And they are compared to how they are, how they are engulfing the living entity. All these, we are thinking, Jadabharat says that like a rich merchant in search of wealth has entered into a forest, thinking that, oh, here I shall get. He will take shelter of, the family members, thinking that, oh, my family members are going to give me happiness. So these family members are compared to the plunderers in the forest who are snatching away the wealth, the money of the living entity. They are compared to the children, they are compared to the jackals. Nobody will have to, have children because they are compared to jackals. But this forest is such that even though we know that there is danger, so pleasing that we cannot stay away from it. All these children, they are compared to the jackals. Means they are depriving a living entity from the true welfare. And there are also nice trees, thinking that, oh, these are nice trees, I can get shelter under these trees. But these trees are also compared to some other ferocious animals, ferocious, poisonous living entities, who in the name of giving shelter, they are deceiving us. We think that, oh, coming here, I will be sheltered, I will be rescued, but we are ultimately getting deceived. In this manner, he compared the entire forest, or all the material relations and material, nature, etc., with a forest, and how this forest is not an ordinary pleasure-giving forest, it's a troubled forest. It's a forest where only troubles are there, and how living entity is thinking that, oh, here is my rescue, here is my rescue, here is my shelter. It is only getting trouble at every step. He is explained. After hearing all this, Rahugana says that, my dear sadhu or avadhuta, I have considered you as an ordinary human being, and therefore I have committed serious offenses to your feet. I have criticized you, I chastised you, I even threatened you to punish because of my misidentification of the self. You please forgive me. Now I have understood what you said, that we don't belong to this material world, and these material relations are only entrapping us more and more. I have understood this. Now, whatever offense I have committed to me, please rescue me from all those, please free me from all those offenses. In this manner, he fell at the feet of at the feet of Jadabharat, and begged for forgiveness. The previous chapter, chapter number 13, ended by Sukadeva Goswami concluding these remarks to Parikshit Maharaj. In this manner, after hearing this, the king fell and begged forgiveness from Jadabharat. But the king had a question. The previous chapter ended with a question. King Parikshit is asking that, O best among the Bhagavatas, you are an all-knower. You have given an example of a merchant walking in the forest. Through this, you have explained how the living entities are getting troubled in this material world. But this example that you gave will be understood by those who are intelligent persons. But not everyone in this material world is intelligent. Those who are intelligent, those who are bright, they can understand. But there are also people who cannot understand, less intelligent. So I want you to explain in little more detail so that even the less intelligent persons will be benefited out of the discussion between Rahugana and Jadabharat. Rahugana was also intelligent. That's why he could understand. And we heard it for 1 month, 2 months, we have not understood. I'm talking about me, not about all of you. Because Parikshit Maharaj knows people like us are there who are hearing this, but still they have not understood what is the discussion between Rahugana and Rahugana understood. I am sorry, I offer my obeisances to you, and then he, understood what was told, spoken by Bharat, because both are wise. But these wise words of Bharat are not understood, cannot be understood by everyone. Therefore, I want you to explain in little more detail for the welfare of those who are less intelligent. So that is where chapter number 13 ended, and we will start from chapter number 14 from today. Sa hovacha sa esha dehatma maninam satvadi guna vishesha vikalpita कुशला कुशल समवहार विनिर्मित विविध देहावली भी वियोग संयोगाद्यानादि संसारानुभवस्य द्वारभूतेन षडिन्द्रियवर्गेण तस्मिन् दुर्गाध्ववद सुगमे अध्वन्यापतित ईश्वरस्य भगवतो विष्णोर्वाशवर्तिन्या मायया जीवलोकायं यथा वणिक् सार्थो अर्थपरः स्वदेह निष्पादित कर्मानुभवः श्मशान वदशिवतमायां संसाराटव्यां गतो नाद्यापि विफल प्रतियोगे अस्तत्तापोप शमनिं हरि गुरु चरणारविंदं मधुकरान् अनुपदवीं अवरुद्धे. महाराज परीक्षित এইরূপ প্রশ্ন করিলে परम भागवत श्री शुकदेव अतिशय आनंद भरे कहिते लागलेन. So in this manner, when the great Parikshit Maharaj had inquired this question, then Mahabhagavata Sri Shukadeva Goswami was extremely pleased to see how Parikshit Maharaj is compassionate on all the living entities. Parikshit Maharaj is in no rush to hear more. Okay, this topic finished, please tell me next topic. Let us discuss about some other subject matter. No. We have to understand all the subject matters in great detail. Just understand one shloka, that is enough. If we can understand one shloka from entire Srimad Bhagavatam, that is enough. Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur spoke one verse for 1 month, not satisfied fully. Because if we can understand one verse completely from Srimad Bhagavatam, our life becomes successful. But we want to hear newer and newer things. Because we have the desire to gain knowledge, not devotion. We want to gain more knowledge. But by knowledge, we are not going to get Supreme Lord. Brahmaji spoke very clearly. And even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told in Rai Ramananda's, discussion, conversation. Jnana, knowledge, is impermanent. You have to give up prayas modapasya. You have to give up completely. But devotion is what is very important. Now, Parikshit Maharaj, I have experienced directly from Srila Gurudev several times. Several times. He would ask us to read about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, about Narottam Thakur, towards the, last stages of his, manifest pastimes in this material world. He was exhibiting some inconvenience of the eyes, not able to read properly for long times. He was exhibiting these pastimes. So at those times he would say, please read this. He could not read properly, so he would ask us to read. Then we would read. We would read like, oh, I know reading very nicely, I can read Bengali, just going on reading. Guru Maharaj, no, stop. Read means you do it from the heart, from the core of the heart. It's not like it's not a mechanical process. Just go on reading it. You have to do it from the heart. Understand what you are reading. Now Guru Maharaj is very mercifully asking us to read, not for his understanding. We are thinking that his eyes are bad, therefore he asked us to read, he wants to listen. No. He is enacting this pastime that he is not able to read, so that at least in the name of serving him we will read and we will understand. That is the purpose. So, when we would read, no, Huani, means your reading is not proper, read it again. We would read it again. Simply by reading, it is not reading. You have to understand. Read again. I would again read. Then ultimately, dissatisfied, he would take, okay, I will read, go away. Because I want you to read for your purpose, you are not reading it, I will do it for me only, don't worry. So, and then he would read it. He would read it once, twice, thrice, the same sentence. And then he would emphasize the word. Why? The purpose is not just to finish. The purpose is to accept what is being said there. So here Sukadeva Goswami was very pleased when Parikshit Maharaj told that I want to understand, the less intelligent persons may not have understood this metaphor of the merchant, of the forest, of the troubles, they might not have understood. I want you to explain in more detail for the purpose of the less intelligent people also, which means Parikshit Maharaj is also compassionate for people like us, even though he has only 7 days left. Even hearing about Atma Tattva, we want to hear about highest topics. Radha Krishna's pastimes. Radha Krishna has performed this, gopis have done this. We want to hear that. But even hearing about the fundamental subject matters Atma is devotion. He is not telling, okay, I understood what is Atma, just go ahead, describe the pastimes of Krishna. No, I want to understand in more detail, because till the point our material identifications are not over, we will not be able to make progress. We will not have any eligibility. I have not understood that I belong to Krishna. I have not understood that I am a member of Krishna Loka. I have fallen into this material world. I have not understood this yet. Therefore, first things first. So here, Parikshit Maharaj, when he asked, Sukadeva Goswami was very pleased and he started telling him, Maharaj, Ardhoparchana par Vanikagan Jemon Arther Janno Kantakadi Purno Durgama Pathe Chalite Chalite Ghoratara Kanane Giya Pade Seirupo E Jivakul Mayadhish Bhagavan Vishnur Adhina Mayadvara Durgama Pravritti Marge Chalita Hoya E Bhavatavike Labh Kore. Maharaj, just like a merchant who is endeavoring to accumulate more wealth is In the path of trying to accumulate more and more wealth, he is sometimes trapped in a wrong path. Isn't it? It happens. Many businessmen, they want to earn money by quick means or by illegitimate means or some, and they are stuck. So all these, just like the merchants, they, in an endeavor, over endeavor to attain more wealth, are trapped in a path that is full of thorns, and they are not able to find a way out of it. In a similar manner, the living entities also, being subdued by the Maya of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, they are also, in an endeavor to attain material pleasures, they are trapped in the forest of Maya, means the material existence. Just like a merchant is trapped trapped means nobody is trapping him, but it is he who is getting trapped by his greed for more and more wealth. He suddenly finds himself in a wrong place. He thought that he can escape, but he is in a prison house now. Or he is stuck in such a place where it is very difficult for him to come out of and to establish where he was previously 5 years ago, in an over endeavor to get more wealth. In a similar manner, the living entity is also in search of happiness. They are thinking that, oh, I shall get more happiness, whatever happiness is there, but I shall get more. In that process, being controlled by the Maya of Supreme Lord, they are also getting struck in a wrong path, and they are getting lost in this forest. সেই জন্য তাহারা ভগবদ অভিন্ন শ্রী গুরুদেবের পাদপদ্ম সেবক দিগের অনুষ্ঠিত ভক্তিমার্গ আজ পর্যন্ত লাভ করিতে পারিতেছেন না। Therefore, because they are lost in the forest of material existence, till today they are not able to follow the path that has been nicely laid by the devotees of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, by Sri Guru. They are not able to accept the path of Sri Guru to get the actual happiness, because they are lost in the forest of material existence. যাহারা দেহাত্ম বুদ্ধি বিশিষ্ট তাহাদের সত্ত্বাদি গুণ বিশেষে বিভক্ত শুভাশুভ ও তদুভয় মিশ্রিত কর্মের ফলানুসারে দেব তির্যগ আদি বহুবিধ দেহ লাভ ও তদ্বারা সংযোগ বিয়োগ জনিত সুখ দুঃখাদি রূপ অনাদি সংসার অনুভব হইয়া থাকে। So these persons who consider themselves to be the body or the mind, they are not established in the platform of Atma. Those who think that they are the body or the mind, they are engaged in various material activities, sometimes good activities, sometimes bad activities. The result of good activities is they go to the heavenly planets, they get heavenly bodies. The result of the bad activities is they go to the hellish planets and they get inferior body. So in this manner, due to their own activities, because of misidentification of the self, sometimes they are getting superior body, sometimes they are getting inferior body, and sometimes they are getting happiness, sometimes they are getting miseries, and this way they are only contained in this material existence from time immemorial. In this way they are doing good and bad activities, sometimes kabhu sarge uthaye, kabhu narake dubai, sometimes in the heaven, sometimes in the hell, sometimes in patala, sometimes in earth, sometimes as a Brahma, sometimes as Indra, sometimes as an animal, sometimes as a beast, sometimes as a tree, because of the misidentification of the self. The cause is misidentification, thinking that I am the body. Material pleasures are my true requirement, true necessities. Thinking like this, from time immemorial, living entity is lost in wandering from one place to the other. Pancha Gyanendriya, O man, এই ছয়টি সংসার অনুভবের দ্বারস্বরূপ. The 5 sense organs and the mind, they are like the gates to enjoy this material world. The eyes, they are like, when we open the eyes, they are the gates open for enjoyment. Ears, another gates of enjoyment. Nose, gate of enjoyment. Mind is also gate of enjoyment. So through these 5 sense organs and the mind, these 6 gates of enjoyment, the living entity are experiencing this material world. उहादेर साहाज्ये जीव निज निज देह द्वारा निष्पादित कर्मेर फल भोग करिया थाके, and by due to these sense organs or due to these different gates, the living entity is enjoying or suffering various results of the activities. Because one wants to enjoy through nice sight, or one wants to eat palatable dishes through the tongue, whatever it is, for that purpose, the living entity is performing either good or bad activities, and thus he is experiencing the troubles or temporary fleeting pleasures in this material world. मायार अधीन थाकिया ताहारा जे सकल कर्म करे ताहा तखन निष्फल बा बहुविघ्न द्वारा प्रतिहत है. And therefore, being controlled by Maya, whatever activities they are doing, they are sometimes not bearing fruits, sometimes there are so many troubles on the path. Means a person wants to get enjoyment, but even though one has endeavored so much, the result is no happiness. Or sometimes, even though one is endeavoring so much, there are so many obstacles that come on the path. So, by the help of these 5 sense organs and the mind, the living entity wants to get enjoyment in this material world. Even though he is endeavoring, sometimes he is getting just the opposite result, or sometimes there are many troubles that come on the way. Bhagavad Abhinna Shri Gurudever Padapadma Sevi Mahatma Ganer Padavi Adhyatmikadi Tapatraya Vinashe Samartha Taha Tahara Labh Korte Parenna. But Shri Guru's lotus feet, which are not different from Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, are the only shelter to be rescued from the 3 kinds of material sufferings, afflictions in this material world. They do not know this, nor do they want to aspire for this. They are searching for material pleasures only in this material world, but they are getting troubles, their activities are not bearing fruits, yet they will not able to realize that only by coming under the lotus feet of Sri Guru only one can be freed from these miseries and one can get the true welfare or happiness. They will not be able to understand because they are now lost in this material forest. Okay? We will stop here. We will read the purport by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur tomorrow. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गांधर्विका गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय. There is prasad. Today is first day. There is prasad. There is prasad. श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गांधर्विका गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन पंचतत्वात्मक श्री गौर हरि की जय. परमाराधितम पतित पावन स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी श्री गुरु महाराज की जय. नित्य लीला प्रविष्टोम विष्णुपाद परमहंस स्तोत्र सत श्री श्रीमद् भक्ति दयित माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय. जगत गुरु श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री श्री रूपानुग गुरु वर्ग की जय. श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ षड गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय. श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन वेदव्यास महामुनि की जय. श्री सुखदेव गोस्वामी एवं परीक्षित महाराज की जय. श्री श्री जड़ भरत की जय. समागत हरि कथा श्रवणकारी भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल।